To quote Winston Churchill, war is now inevitable. The only question is, who will be the combatants? Right now, Iran does not have a bomb, an ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile. They do not have a delivery system that can reach the United States with a nuclear weapon. They have airplanes, they have oil barges, they have boats. Now that they're going to be shipping a lot more oil, they could put a nuclear device on the deck of an oil barge, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Think logically. I took a moment to look historically, that one window of time, and you can find other examples in history where treachery occurred. But think logically with me, all right? Iran is still considered, it's still on our State Department's list as a state sponsor of terrorism, all right? What that means is that it's not a ragtag group or a fierce group like Al-Qaeda or ISIS. We label those groups as terrorist organizations. But there's a handful of nations that are called state sponsors of terrorism. And that's pretty self-evident. They take money and they sponsor terrorism. Libya used to be a state sponsor of terrorism. Cuba, North Korea still is a state sponsor of terrorism. And right now, the Iranian government is still sponsoring Hezbollah, Hamas. We don't even know what other individuals and groups around the region or around the world. They tried to have a terrorist attack here in the United States, okay? They were not, according to the reports that I read, they were not required to cease their state sponsorship of terrorism. Wasn't a part of the deal. And we're going to release, what, I think it was $150 billion to them now. Do you know how much terrorism you can buy for $150 billion? Think logically with me. Just think. This is a nation, Persia, all right, an ancient, proud people. The Persians at one point controlled a massive amount of the Middle East. They came in the early 600s and conquered Israel. They destroyed most of the churches. They were conquered by the Muslims shortly after that, but then Persia became a key part of the Muslim empire. Persia was predominantly Shiite. So the Shiite-Sunni conflict has raged with Persia being in the middle of it or on the edge of it for centuries. Now, a quick history lesson again. Sunni Muslims are those who believe that anybody can be the leader of the Muslim world, of the caliph, okay? It can be a blood relative of Muhammad, or it can be just any good man. The Shiites believe, no, it has to be a blood relative of the prophet, okay? And that's the core of their fight. And so within one generation of Muhammad's death, this vicious, horrific fighting began, and the bloodthirstiness of that quarrel was disgusting to read then, and it's just as horrific to look at now. But it's there, okay? It's there. It hasn't died away 1 degree. That's why Saudi Arabia is now saying, if Iran's going to have a nuke, and they're Shiites, and they want to kill us, we're going to have a nuke because we're Sunnis, and we know that they're apostates, and we have to be able to defend ourselves. Think logically. The Persian Empire has been involved in conflicts for millennia, and they're a proud and ancient people, and now they have the theological permission to be warriors for Allah. Shiite warriors against apostate Sunnis, Shiite warriors, Muslims against that pagan infidel Jews, and Shiite warriors against the polytheists, the Christians, those who blaspheme God the Father by saying that God had a son. Blasphemers are those who say that Mary had the Son of God. That's what they are taught. So use logic. They won't submit to any spot checks of what they're doing with it. They have permission to have the stuff now. What do you think they're going to do? The only question is, where will it be used first? I'll be right back with one small prophetic look at this.